I said hi, Sherry, but I was muted.
So we are grateful to be together in mind and heart, and we know that spirit contains all time and space because there is no time or space in spirit. So it's a wonderful thing to connect with you today at this moment. And so I'm going to lead a heart coherence meditation. So I invite you just to find that comfortable position where you are relaxing, and also begin to bring your attention inside. And we do that by closing our outer eyes and bringing our attention into our heart area. And we know that is our divine love chakra, which is much more than the physical heart, but that electromagnetic center of spiritual energy of all-encompassing love. So I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths at your own pace, breathing deeply into the belly and chest, exhaling fully. And now I invite you to, again, focusing on the heart area, just be aware of that center of divine love within you. You may even want to put your hand, one or both hands, over your heart for a few moments just to connect with that location of that energy center within you. And just as you may feel the warmth of your hands, we also feel the warmth of that vibration, that frequency of divine love within us. And anytime you need to take your hands down to be comfortable, please do that. And so now I invite you, as your heart-centered focus, that you affirm for yourself, I am divine love. I was created in love. I am the expression of love. And you may want to think of someone or something that you love unconditionally and just notice the shift of energy when you do that, how it opens your heart even more. You may actually have a sensation of your heart area opening. And now we do heart-centered breathing. We had heart-centered focus. Now we do heart-centered breathing. Imagine that as you breathe, the breath is coming in and out of the heart center. Feel the breath coming in and moving around your heart area. And then exhaling, you release anything that is not like love, any fears, any doubts, any regrets, any judgments. As we exhale, we release those, breathing in the nurturing energy of air, the animating energy of the breath, and releasing anything that is unlike love. With each breath, we expand our heart awareness. With each breath out, we share the love that we are with others, with our world. And so as we share our love, we are expanding the heart, expanding the expression of the heart. And now just imagine that as you are centered in love, as your breath is taking in and giving out love, you're also radiating that energy of all-encompassing, unlimited love, the magnificent power of divinity to heal, to harmonize, to bring peace and serenity. As we feel these qualities of love, we intentionally send them out, first of all, to those that we love and hold dear. See each one of these loved ones radiant with their own light of love. And then we share this love with all of our relationships, casual relationships, all of our more meaningful relationships, and also sharing with those with whom we may have differences. Holding compassion. Forgiveness and acceptance. And now include the whole world, all living beings, the planet herself, giving thanks for the rich beauty, resources, and provision of our home planet. This precious blue, green, and white gem. Feel Mother Earth's vibrancy, harmony, and abundance. And now bring your energy back into your heart space. Hold yourself in that healing, harmonizing energy of acceptance and compassion. And so we give thanks for that infinite power, the magnificent power of divine love that is our nature, our essence. We give thanks that we are able to think and speak and act from that energy of love. We give thanks that as we go forth from this meditation and this class, that we will feel renewed in our commitment to be the loving expression that is needed here and now for ourselves and all others. And so we affirm and remember, constantly giving thanks for divine love active and present within us, and that we are united with others and all of life through the loving energy that we hold. And so it is. Please take another healing breath. And as you open your eyes, continue to be in that vibration, for we can hold that vibration with our eyes open as well. Namaste.
Mute. Okay. I told myself to unmute. I unmute, and somebody else unmuted me, so I got mute again. Nice to see everybody. All of you, I love you. I have, I feel that I don't have to, I want to tell you that each and every one of you here is important to me. That I have a bond with each and every one of you, because of the kind of group that this is and what we share and how we are all growing together. At the same time, I feel that we do share a lot, and we pray for each other. Like last week, we prayed for Sherry and two other people. I forgot who. Uh, but it's important sometimes that we let people know that they are loved and appreciated and wanted. So thank you for being here. Um, what I wanted, there's, like I said, for the people that were not here before the class started, I was saying that today's class is going to cover several topics from several, it's not a one subject thing, it's a compilation of things, because different things were coming all together and nothing was actually the main message. At the end, I did get a message, which is I'm going to give at last, but I'm going to start giving the little snippets that I got before them. I have been reading a lot and hearing and videos and audios and Gaia and this and that. And so I have been busy. And aside from the magicians and um, the immortals and the originals and all these fantasy things, and I'm being involved with warlocks and magicians and witches and in the movies, not werewolves. Anyway, so I have been having compilation of different things. I felt like I had not reached out to any of you in quite a while. So, like I said, Barbara called me last night and also said to say hi to everybody, that she's doing better and that she misses everybody. She wanted to be here today, but unfortunately she has another doctor's appointment, but things seem to be clearing up for her. So I am beholding that vision for her, that she gets into perfect health, as I'm also beholding the same vision for Sherry. So I'm going to ask a question later if I have time, but I'm going to jump right in, and I want to clarify that just little pieces. So I'm going to start with understanding and what we think understanding means. So understanding takes place in relationship to other. Other means outside of you. Understanding comes when I have thoroughly compartmentalized my entire experience about the subject. I compartmentalize it and I put it in different slots. And I analyzed it to death. Understanding can only be experienced by a separate I, not by spirit, not by who we are, but realize that the part that is not you wants understanding. Even the Bible's telling you, get the peace that passes understanding, because understanding ties you down to you have to work for it. This is the fifth dimension where you don't have to work for things, and you have to acknowledge that they're already there. And by that, you open the door. But then I'm going to talk later on about how the mind and brain coherence come into this, along with the, well, let me just finish this. So the separate I has, by definition, been kicked out of paradise. Love, God, oneness, whatever you want to call paradise, can never be understood. It's not an understanding. Peace that passes understanding, remember that. There is no I to understand with. It is the undoing of all identity, because you're not your thoughts, your feelings, or your emotions. Um, so it's the undoing of all identity that knowing becomes being. So once you discard everything that is not you, you become who you truly are, who you have always been, but that lay dormant in the background because of fear. And the fear mostly was fear of feelings, because that's what we were taught. Be careful with this and don't do that and do this, and all the training. What I wanted to say about the mind and brain coherence is we have a shield. We're electromagnetic. The thoughts are electric. The heart is magnetic. But when the thoughts run amok, you do not have that field in coherence. You have that field that is sparkling and shooting off your energy, and you become very tired when that happens, when you are thinking about the same thing over and over and over. That's only your brain. And when you're only in your brain, there is no way for you to be coherent. You can be thinking all the spiritual things, but you're still in your brain. Okay. Once your thoughts align with your feelings, in other words, you have a feeling and align with it, then you start creating, the process of creation. You can create or you can miscreate. Once the thought becomes activated by the feeling, once it gets married, it becomes a structure. It becomes an electromagnetic field. Now you're in the attracting, manifesting mode. Okay, because before that, the heart needs to will, because the heart does not operate at all by words. Neither does the mind. Neither does the body. Okay. The only thing that operates is the brain, because it is used to having to record. It's almost like a recorder. So 5% of all the energy we have is used by the brain. 5%. The other 95% is used by the body. Um, you might want to start using your brain energy more, or releasing some of the things that hold you back by activating the coherent field all around you. If you do it intentionally, you can create at that time. You can create what you want. Just don't use the same field for miscreation of things you don't want, like worrying, like feeling sorry for yourself, like feeling alone and depressed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you can very easily shift out of that, change your mind. You choose again, and you choose with um, with compassion for yourself. That's the reason that you're choosing you. What you're actually choosing is you. We have the idea that our thoughts create. Our thoughts give the will to the heart, and the heart gives the permission to manifest. If they're in alignment, whether you're right or wrong, you will be in those states. Whether you want to manifest or not manifest that which you're worried about, you will. And it will be a lot easier to become grateful and thankful and compassionate to us, to ourselves. When we do that, then we start attracting. What are we attracting? We're attracting the abundance. We're attracting our wants, not our needs, our wants. And because we are so what do we do to open our heart to work with our brains in what we want? We start working with appreciation, gratefulness, and compassion. Like Virginia was saying, think of someone or something that makes you have warm, fuzzy feelings. But what I do sometimes, instead of going outwardly, I go to me. You know, it's a self-embracement. You start loving yourself, loving yourself in a compassionate manner, just by turning that energy within. Your energy for the heart is not out there. You bring it in. When I tell you to put your hands in your heart when we're going to meditate, is the intention is there, which is giving my intention from my thoughts to here to the heart. And then I said, okay, feel the heart, because this is giving permission for the heart to open and become activated. I can say, feel, imagine that, put your attention there. But the mere act of putting physically your hands in your chest enhances the experience. Your your mind thinks 60,000 thoughts a day. Out of that, only 5% you were able to be present, be in the now. You were actualized during 5% of your life for the day. So the idea that would you want to become more aware, then you start bringing your with several of the tools I gave you, like the get rid of things that are upsetting, get rid of give them to the robot, things that are not you. What are things that are not you? Unloving, uh being nasty, being unbecoming to yourself, because when you throw it out, it's actually coming out of yourself. It is you coming out in whatever anger or aggression. And when we repress too much, we start getting sick, because it is the thing is like going, no, I'm not going to talk about it. Throat, no, I'm not going to think about it. The head, no, I am depressed. The heart, no, I'm not willing to make a decision. The solar plexus, no, I am afraid. And the root chakra, saying, I am not going to ground myself and pay attention to anything. That way I'm not responsible. So those are all the no's on that. There's also all the, you know, everything else is the positive in all of them. But it is our choice whether we choose to feel what we choose to feel. And if you don't like what you're feeling, choose again. Feelings are not yours. Emotions are not yours. And one of the reasons that we hang on to the emotion is because of the chemical addiction, which you already know about. I had already said, I already gave that in different classes, where you're addicted to the chemicals that go with depression, that go with sickness, that go with any of that. And I'm including myself in there, because I do get, I do have pains, and I do have different things that some of you know. But I'm not choosing anybody in particular. I'm talking about me. I try not to isolate, because we are all, as far as I'm concerned, we're all growing together. So I will be talking later on another time more about the coherence of and how that affects your pendulums, because you're going to be contracting every time that you start worrying and thinking and really mulling over things, and I have to understand and I have to figure out and I have to do this and that, your energy field is contracting. You want to manifest, but you can't because you are stuck here. And the only thing that can get you stuck here is the pendulums that pass back and forth, because those are activated for that type of feeling. And you don't need to expand your aura for that, because the field is so full of it. The human field. I'm not talking about the spiritual field. What are we addicted to in our bodies? Why do I keep on having pain? Why do I have my butt is in pain right now? But it's as I'm working with it, and I'm not saying working by actually doing something physically about it. I am talking about um, going into the field and allowing that to be a non-issue, to see myself as God created me, to see the divinity in me, and to recognize. And sometimes when I'm hurting like that, I said, there is nothing impossible. You know, there's another topic that I'm going to be talking in a little bit, and it's called, my goodness, unconditional love heals all. When we're talking about that, when you start like a mantra for that, there's nothing excluded. Nothing. I don't care what it is, who it is, where it is. Nothing is excluded in any dimension, in any place. So you're setting up the field to walk into it. Okay. Anybody has any questions about the understanding part? Why, when you understand, you have to separate yourself? Does anybody understand that? Yes, Virginia.
So in the beginning, you said to have coherence with the mind and the brain. Is that what you meant to say?
No, I meant to say mind and heart.
I thought so. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. I didn't realize I said that. Uh, that's because I wasn't looking at the notes or anything like that. I mean, I did a little paragraph and then blah, blah, blah. The rest of the words just flow out. So next I'm going to be talking about peace awareness. Okay. This is important for us, people that are light workers, okay? Do not allow anyone to take you from your peace. Let them think they have won, whichever, whatever. Their satisfaction will be short-lived before needing to win again. It is when we fall into this, not only are we addicted to that chemical, we're also addicted to the habit of going into that space. Um, so let them win. It's not that important. I mean, the Course in Miracles says, do I want to be right, or do I want to be in peace? And I usually take that in an angel way, and I says, do you want to be in peace, or do you want to be in pieces? You know, so like I said, these people will go back again because of the addiction of wanting to win. But a solid foundation of peace awareness can last a lifetime. We as humans are all created equal. It's not that some have weaker minds than others, but that some are more aware of themselves, and this makes it seem that that some have strengths and abilities that others don't possess, but that is not true. just more awareness. The more unaware one is of themselves, the more that you will be dragged around by the occurrences that happen in life. Peace awareness is what one awakens to. It is not an awakening to the great secrets of the universe, but more so what where I have give me a second, I need a throat lozenge here. Okay. Like I said, we're not awakening to the secrets of the universe. We're awakening to our own beingness, to our own experiences. Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. He didn't say, I came here so you struggle and, live a life of penance. He says, live life and live it more abundantly. So all these things about him being a martyr is not, he was a master, not a martyr. Carrying on. I would like to say in my own case, one area where I have become more aware is not allowing other people's actions to pull me from my peace awareness. At times, my initial reaction is to get annoyed, but it's usually realized very quickly that most people do not want to follow this because it requires responsibility and it requires looking at oneself. Um, and they call it that it is because they cannot help themselves. It's not that they cannot help themselves. Nobody really wants to look because they don't want to be responsible and they want to continue playing the victim. As simple as that. So they say because we're all humans and come into this world basically the same, unconditioned. It's the level of conditioning that makes one appear weak or strong. But one is just more aware of their conditioning than another person. Let the other person think they have won, that they have gotten the better of you. Except to the ego, it means nothing. This is how unconscious energy is squashed. Again, this is how unconscious energy gets squashed. This doesn't change the other person, but it does change you. It's not for the other person, it's for you. You're letting it go for you. You're actually the winner if you want to call it that. I don't call it that, but when people get into arguments or something, it's not a matter of winning. It's a matter of allowing who we are to truly shine our light. It stops all the stories associated with the situation which festers as unconsciousness. I'm going to say this to them, or they are wrong, or they do not know who I am. This is all the nonsense of a conditioned mind or ego, and nothing good comes from this energy. So, as I said, let the other person think they have won, but you will know in your heart what the truth is, because by remaining in your place of peace and not giving in to the conditioned mind nonsense, form is not in control. After all, one can only be taken from their peace, from their place of peace when it's allowed, and it only occurs when the ego is in control. So when there's this battle of who, when people get like this, I'm right and you're wrong, you're mistreating me, you are not treating me correctly, you are not. Look at all the projection and see what that person is feeling rather than taking it personally. This person is attacking for a reason. It's not my place to fix that person, but it is my place to acknowledge where they're at. Any questions there before I move on? No? Okay. Unconditional love heals all. Like I was going to tell you that we still need unconditional love for ourselves. We don't think much about ourselves. We go, okay. Sometimes I hide myself and I said I won't participate in outside activities. Is this really me? Or is it me trying to adjust to my conditioned mind and habitual mind? Sometimes what makes me feel a little bit more like, let me just stay in bed. I'm guilty of that. Let me just not wake up. Let me just remain here. Let me just sit there. Let me play with the cat. Um, in order not to engage in life. You came here, this is not a dress rehearsal, people. It really isn't. You're a light. You cannot hide a light. Do not hide. I'm asking you that your light is needed, and it's needed for more than giving it to Mitzi the cat. Okay? Um, so unconditional love heals all. You sit with this for as long as possible. Unconditional love heals all. That means anything and everything, anywhere at any time, regardless of the time frame that things occurred or didn't occur. Please listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Read between the lines because I cannot come out and actually say what I want to say. You sit with this for as long as possible, wait long enough to see and feel that place deep within the core of your heart. Again, you put your hands on your heart and do what I told you before. So go to the deep, to the core of your heart, your soul, your spirit, to open up and unfold your truest, authentic self, your authenticity of who you truly are within that very moment. Now, it may not be what you want to see or feel in that moment, but hold on to yourself wholly and allow your self, higher self, to express your truest unresolved traumas that are arising before you. Do not judge anything you see or feel. Simply experience it, feel it, go through it one last time if you're willing to look deep within. Do this in order to fully allow the release of whatever it is that your authentic self is showing you is trapped and wounded inner PTSD self. How to let go and move forward. We have all been in a personal horror movie, so to speak, within this lower 3D, third dimensional matrix of negativity and pain. Just allow whatever comes. Let it pass through, let it go. Allow and allow and allow again, and allow yourself spirit to guide you through the inner dungeons within the vessel that the actions of others have locked each of us within. I'm talking about the programming. So, truth is that you are the very warden that is now pardoning you from the painful, false life sentence that you, as the sole judge and jury, have been conned within the matrix to have condemned yourself to. None of that is capable of locking you up. Not anymore. Unless you continue to allow the same outdated, lower third dimensional reactions to continue without change. Any questions before I move on to the next one? We're still writing, okay. Now it gets a little bit more directive. We are not here to create codependence, energy draining beings that the societies of old and new have been doing for centuries. We are the way showers, the lighthouses, and torch bearers. We came to this earth plane to be the very best, the most truthful, the most unconditionally loving, the most trusting beings for self, no one else. It's for us, people, to be the most transparent beacons of light and love unto ourselves. Thus, we become brilliant individual beacons of light and love, unconditional. We begin to see each other as a much higher resonance of vibration, which in turn attracts our individual beacons of divine light and love closer and closer into an enormously growing and glowing beacon of love light that darkness cannot deny nor defeat ever again. Remember, nothing is hidden to those of us that can truly see. Far too many are allowing envy, jealousy, and temptation to pull them off their illuminated paths. This is pulling them off their individually illuminated paths that are lifting them up and out of the dark woods, the dark nights of the soul, so to speak. Giving into envy, jealousy, and temptation is allowing them to be pulled back into the traumas and dramas of others. This in turn leads them further and further away from their inner work, their soul eternal rehab, as it were. It is safe to extend your hand down into the lower dimensional planes in order to share one's knowledge and guidance for those one feels in need of it. Yet never dim your light for another by going back down into the lower dimensional levels of existence that you fought so very, very, very hard to raise up and out of. Continue to be the example for others to follow. Maintain your luminant beacons of light in order to allow those who are willing to invest in themselves, enough to dedicate to themselves, to their ascension, to prove themselves to the universe that they will not waste your time, nor the time of the others that they are guided to for assistance. This may seem harsh, but truth is very often a harsh yet necessary pill to swallow. Maintain and expand your increasing and ever expanding luminance of divinity and grace so that those seeking it can see it, so that they can follow it, to follow it in order to find their own way up and out of their very own traumas of their dark woods or night of the soul, the dark nights of their souls. It is so very crucial that each of you maintains the fullest level of unconditional love for yourselves at this time, from this moment, and every moment from now on. We are here to guide, not save. We are here to assist those guided to us spiritually, to assist those who are to become independent, not codependent. People that are self-sustaining and empowered beacons of love and light. We are the lighthouses. Be the beacon of light that shines so very brilliantly, shines so brilliantly that those caught up within their individual dark nights of the soul, the inner storms of their souls, are able to see your luminescence of unconditional light and love. Allow them to see your light in order to illuminate their path to the shores of safety and serenity, illuminating the beautiful shores of tranquility that will allow them to find peace long enough to see that there is another way, a higher pathway, to yet another higher doorway to step up into and through. Remember, all had someone illuminate their loving light for us in order for us to also be presented with the opportunity to see that there was indeed another way. We're able to be shown via the loving light of another, or others to be shown that we are not alone within this grand ascension soul journey or dark to light. We are each very profound and magical, luminescent link upon the grand chain of creation. Okay, that was a mouthful. Um, quite a bit. So, any questions on anything I said so far? Okay. Now the message.
Pause a moment and let us gather our thoughts to see if we have any questions.
Okay. I'll bring some coffee. Hold on. Think of a question, please. Anyone? Yes, Virginia.
No, when you say, does anybody have any questions? Okay, let's move on. So I just like to take a breath and glance over my notes because sometimes questions are there. And then by the time we move on to 4 subjects later, I've forgotten what that other thing was. So, but I just want to say that was a beautiful mouthful.
It's like all chopped up, but I mean, that's the way it came out. Hope everybody understood what it was meant to say, to make sure that we as light beacons remain, and as the Bible says, do not throw pearls to swine. They won't appreciate what you're saying, how you're saying it, and why you're saying it. They will just, like if it was, like I said, pearls to swine, you do not do that. You're wasting your time. They don't see your light. And yes, you do respect them, and you allow them to express themselves in whatever way, and then agree with them and let them go. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay, bye. Nice knowing you for the moment. I might not agree with you, but I'm not going to tell you that. Yes, Jenny.
When we do our work, internally during an episode that we're trying to maintain our, actually successfully maintaining our position of light. When we work through that, because we're gonna feel, at least I'm saying for myself, I'm gonna feel emotion. So when I work through that and, you know, hang on to that higher self, I'm actually influencing, though, aren't I? Isn't there, by doing that and doing that inner work, somehow or another, that person, or maybe it's not that person, but in some way it influences a rising of the collective, that in kind of a long way around, that person is getting a benefit from my own work?
What happens is people start looking at you when you start changing, and two things will happen. People that are looking for the light will run towards you, and people that are afraid, not afraid, but don't want to see the light, that run from you. And then you have the ones that said, oh, here's somebody who can help me, and they try to become dependent on you. So you have, there's three different things. Which one, you know, and if you look at your friends and your acquaintances and everything, they will fit in one of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I 100% get what you're saying now. Perfect. That was a great clarification. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, Penny.
Okay. I think you've told us this before, maybe. But since we're trying to work on finding our peace, are other people being brought into our space to help us work on that?
Nobody's here by accident, Penny.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
That comes into our area are coming there for an upliftment, whether you take it that way or not. It's not a lesson. It's an opportunity for you to see yourself by what you project to them. Okay?
Okay.
Be careful with your words, because if you listen to what you say, it's very revelatory about where you're at. Okay, and that goes for anyone.
No.
You know, any person, close friends, relatives, or the most mundane person, you know, the people in traffic, everyone is there to show you who you are. If you look at it that way, you won't be so judgy. Because when you start judging, it's not about them, it's about you. So why are you judging, regardless of how nasty they are? Because that should not affect you. It should not affect you, because you're not your thoughts or your feelings or your emotions. And to say, but they hurt me, okay, then you don't know who you are, because you are still trying to. Okay, did that help you, Penny? Because I don't know, I got lost in the question, to be honest with you. So the question was,
well, no, I think that, well, that was what I asked you. Are people in our path basically for a reason to help us?
They are.
Help us. If we are, especially if we're light workers, they're there to help us learn how to practice, to give us practice to try to get to peace. Maybe that's, you know, that seems like to be the case, and for me in many situations, as I go, why did this happen? Well, maybe it was for a reason to make me more, give me an opportunity to practice some more how to get to a space of peace.
If you take that, let's say your friend that you had that disagreement with, that how she saw things or whatever, and there was back and forth. And you're afraid to say things because you might hurt her, or you cannot hurt somebody. That's their understanding, because they understand. They have to understand why somebody's doing this and that and the other. It's not your place. Your place is for you. Why is this upsetting you? Well, because they're being mean and nasty, and why should I put up with this, and why should I put up with that, right? And you know, the neighbor is nasty, my brother, my sister, my mom, the dog, whatever, they're nasty. There's no other word for it, okay? And am I supposed to be accepting it? Does this make me a doormat? Does this make me, you know, it doesn't make you a doormat, because whatever somebody's saying has nothing to do with you. It is about them. Your reaction to them is you. What they're saying to you is them and only them, and what's inside of them, and how they're hurting or how they're not hurting. I'm not here to save anybody. If you want to come up, I'll help you up. If you want to stay down, and, you know, I'm not going to participate. You know, if I want to salvage a relationship, I will say, you know, I really like you, and, you know, and we have a lot of disagreements. Can we not talk about this? Because I see that you get anxious and annoyed and irritated, and then you start getting angry, and I don't know how to handle that, because it's not my place to make you feel better. That's not my job. My job is to let me finish what I'm saying to Penny, and then I'll come to you. And I would like to fix the relationship, you know, but I need you to work with me. Do you want this relationship as much as I do? I do care for you.
Well, I think my question was more really well, thank you for that too, but I think it's more related to people come into our lives for a reason, and that sometimes is to help us become who become ourselves, I guess. That's what it is. So we can help get to becoming ourselves. Okay, that's kind of the idea.
I was in traffic and somebody gave me the finger, and I smiled and I gave them a Reiki sign. You know? What am I gonna do? You know, when I reach down and fall down, and I will fall down on my face if I withdraw. I withdraw because I don't want to, I feel under attack. I am believing that I am my feelings, and somebody else can have that power over me. So what I'm saying is I have become a victim in my own mind. I want to stay a victim because I want you to acknowledge that I am feeling chewed up or mistreated or whatever else. You know, unless you are being physically attacked, which I will say automatically, you know, don't even wait, run. But if somebody's getting angry over things, just diffuse the thing and go, I won't talk about that, and walk away. I won't talk about it. I'm not willing to do that. I already told you, get out of my house. And, you know, that's the part that people don't want to say, get out of my house. Give me my space. You have to respect me. These are my rules. These are my rules. I need to, Penny, I need to go to Sherry. Yes, Sherry.
No, I mean, I was done quite a while ago. Thank you, Angie. Thank you.
Sherry, baby.
So basically what I hear you saying is we never have to apologize, that it's on anybody else because they get hurt by our behavior.
I don't believe in apologies. I know that some of my friends have problems with that. I mean, you can actually, Virginia was one of my friends that says, what do you mean? You don't apologize. I mean, ever since she met me, I don't believe in apologies. And sometimes I will apologize for their sake, for their sake.
Wow.
But I'm not one to come forth and say, one time, I think one time I did that and I meant it. And that was because I felt compelled to do so. But
Not
one time in 20 years for Virginia, for example, or 25 years, or, you know, and I'm not saying we didn't get into disagreements or whatever else. I'm just saying that, and I'm not just talking about her, that's everybody. Have I ever apologized to you?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, and I said I'm gonna write it on the calendar.
That
But
what?
you didn't mean it, and you were just doing it to placate me. So
Right. I mean, as a whole thing. Um, but no, you're correct. I will say no. You don't need to apologize. But I don't usually teach that because people are too sentimental, and I feel that to say that to most anybody will say, "Well, that's so callous. That's so self-serving. That is so." But the truth is, I'm looking at me, and whatever is coming out of their minds, being thrown at me, like, okay, apologize. I think you should apologize. It's like if somebody's that insistent, it's like I said, okay, let them win and let it go because you automatically diffuse that. Whether they
and
believe it or not, whether
what
they
if they
believe it or not is another thing. The thing is, what I want most at all times is my peace.
right? So what I'm asking is, why would I intentionally walk into a lion's den knowing, based on past experience, that I'm going to be bitten?
No, I didn't say go and expose yourself to something. You know, a scorpion will always bite the turtle.
Right. That's my point that I'm making. Is
Right.
that
Okay. And I said, if somebody's already, you know, the situation is like saying, okay, I'm going to get stuck. When I go through this slide, I get stuck. And some people says, can you take the side way? In other words, avoid it. And it's okay to do that. But what I'm asking you now, it is okay to deflect. It is okay to go around. I'm talking about when you pick up the phone to talk to that person, or when that person knocks on your door and comes in. What is your truth? What is it that you're saying? What are you, are you able to say, okay, you came to my house, I didn't invite you,
no?
you know, can you please leave? Are you willing to do that? I mean, to preserve the peace, or are you gonna let them in? Let them say whatever it is they want to say. Don't take it personally. Let them win. Like I started this whole thing with. Let them win.
Okay, so I don't have to apologize.
No, just let them win because they'll be satisfied for the moment. Just don't agree. Just you know, just go uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily an agreement. That's just um like when somebody's talking and you said, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I don't have to agree. I hear you. Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. You don't have to participate and add to the field when that happens. And you are most certainly able to escape it. What I really want you to look at is why does this trigger you so badly? And I understand. Don't think that I am, that I don't see or whatever, but I do see, and it's it's a case of closing the door. Closing the door. You might not like what I'm saying, but it is a closed door, and that is up to you. Yes, Jenny.
This topic came up not long ago. I was talking to another person, and I'm doing the course right now, and I remember reading that apology is you're placating your own ego by making an apology, because ultimately all of us are in our own perceptions. So by apologizing, granted, you can maybe work on it in yourself and work on, healing your misperception if that's what it was, but that other person is responsible for doing that as well. So by just acknowledging we have different perspectives, exactly what you were saying, Angie. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I hear you. Allowing that to happen, but never. I have to work on not apologizing too. It's not like I'm a master at it, but I do understand it now that it's just to placate my own ego to help me feel better, that I'm letting you feel better, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
No, if somebody's already in that attitude, and you know they're gonna get you to engage, and if you, the problem here is a few lessons back when I was talking about do not get attached to the hook. They're throwing you hooks at every moment.
Yeah.
Do not pick up the, just
I get that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think? Not much right now. And peace. Peace be still. To me, my peace is precious. And to me, to try to make that person understand or something is what I call throwing pearls to swine. Okay, anybody else? Okay. So this is the longest part of this. So I want to talk about this feeling of being detached right now. It is getting very real in terms of ascending or shifting into higher frequencies. I also want to preface that if you're not feeling any of this, that it is perfectly divine and great. We do not all need to be feeling the exact same experiences, and it does not mean that you are not shifting or evolving. It just means that in this now moment, you're not experiencing, that you are experiencing something different. That's all it's saying, nothing else. However, many of us are feeling or going to be feeling or have been feeling powerful shifts on an energetic level within our bodies. One of these shifts is this feeling of being detached, almost like you are floating. Keep on bumping into things, keep on pushing things, keep on smashing toes, hands, fingers, whatever. Detached attitude. Okay, I'm fixing to tell you why. What is energetically occurring is that your body is starting to anchor itself into what we call a fifth dimensional field. I'm talking about your body now. So right now we are standing physically and anchored in a third dimensional field or third dimensional matrix. So we are tied to it. We have these like tentacles out there that connect us to how this matrix works. Like I was talking about you're thinking and you're feeling and you're throwing, you're manifesting. Most of us are manifesting unconsciously. I'm thinking this, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with you, you know, um, you know, I do not want that. I don't want that food. I don't want this dress. I don't want whatever. All of this is um, we are in a third dimensional field. Um, so we have this like tentacles out that connect us to this matrix. Um, so as long as we are in this third dimensional field, we're tied to it. Um, Third dimensional field, we pay bills, we commit to things, we have relationships. There are things that we watch on television or on the computer screen, whatever that is. There are these tentacles that go out when we are anchored to a third dimensional matrix, meaning when a pendulum, when you release something and it gets attached to the pendulum. No, I don't want to hear that. It goes to the pendulum and it's going to bring you more of the same. So you're actively engaged in the third dimensional field. Um, so there are these tentacles that go out when we are anchored in a third dimensional matrix or field that creates a reality and how we sort of function. When we start to move, when your body starts to hold a higher frequency within it, you literally start to detach from this in a very physical way. Very physical, which can feel very disorienting because it can feel like you have moved out of these tentacles, a kind of shifted out of the tentacles, freed yourself from these tentacles, and now you are kind of looking down at the matrix while you're still standing in it. So there's this feeling of being detached. And what happens is a couple of different things, two different things. One, you are becoming more and more of your whole complete being. And you are feeling your resonance, your energy field, your signature, your frequencies, which means that that it is becoming impossible to not speak your truth. It is becoming impossible to not hold boundaries that you need in terms of a relationship, in terms of relationships or anything else in the external. And talking about boundaries is what I was trying to tell you, Sherry, about people coming and just crashing into your place. And sometimes we need boundaries for our own peace of mind. A lot of times we don't want to be around certain frequencies because whether you like it or not, these frequencies, these energies, you will be affected. There's no ifs or buts about it. Your energy will be affected. And then you're wondering why you're mopping around. Well, who around you, feeling that way? Who around you is angry? Who around you is fearful? Who around you is, put put the definition there, not the definition though. Yes, Sarah.
Wrong button. Sorry about that. I had a question about what do you do if you have people around you that are often fearful or angry, but they're physically around you, like a close loved one? Like what do you do to kind of protect yourself from their energy?
Okay. When they're speaking, or just the frequency that they're emanating? Because
more just
there's two things that you're being affected by. You're being affected electrically and magnetically by those people.
Mm-hmm.
So is it thought-wise, or is it spoken, or is it sometimes it's implied just by gestures and things and body language. A lot of people do that. A lot of people roll their eyes backwards. A lot of people do things that make you know that they're displeased. Okay, it's an automatic thing. It's not meant to, and sometimes it is. You know, the thing is, they might not believe it is, but it just comes when you know that they're annoyed, or
Right.
somebody is just like start with the finger like this, pointing, or you know, there's a lot of reading. I mean, I when I'm with somebody, I'm always looking at the externals, at their body language. What are they saying? How are they saying it? What's the tone? And what's behind it? And 9 times out of 10, they are saying things that they're unresolved with themselves, in themselves. It has nothing to do with you. What I would say to you is remain. Do not lower your frequency because there is no need for you to. You're being affected only if you pay attention to it. Let's say that one of the closest people is continually in a depressive situation, for lack of a better word. Even though they don't say anything, you can see the expression, you can see how they walk, and how, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about body language. Okay. When I was going through the study of psychology, I had to take 2 semesters of body language. Just to be able to read the patient and to be able to do things like that. And I listen to the tone and to their body language. I don't see anything else. Sometimes I don't even hear their words, but I'm always scanning. It's a I even though might look like I'm totally not there, and maybe I'm not totally there, but the moment there's a change in the tone, the moment there's a change in the position of the body, then I know that they believe whatever it is that is holding them back. And I'm not saying holding them back, nothing can hold you back. But when you are not aware that you are holding yourself back, that they are holding themselves back, and it's the only thing that can hold them back. It's not a circumstance, event, or a person that can hold anybody back. It's not age, and it is not any incapacities or anything like that. A person can be very happy with all of that around them because they have their own internal world of reference. Don't go down, let them come up. Start singing, whistling, and put some music on, and things that are happy, things that have a higher frequency. For example, music, something more sassy, more things that you can dance to, and start moving. Move the energy in the house.
Okay.
Move energy and remain in your. Be thankful. I'm so grateful that I have this beautiful house, and I have this car, and I have water, electricity, and all the services, and that I'm able to eat well, and that I always have, or more than my needs, and I'm never taken for granted, and I'm always grateful, and I'm grateful that I'm always in a high vibration, in a vibrational attunement, and when you can hum to yourself, or not only hum to yourself, but also hum. When I am at the worst times, I will start humming. And we as we go, I don't care who you talk to. I don't care who the guru is out there or the highest anything at this point in this earth. We all get out of our peace daily. And the thing as we grow, the least amount of time that we spend trying to justify and get out of there. Do not work at all. Just do things that make you happy. Only do the things that make you happy. I know you have a lot of responsibility, but you don't have to be responsible and miserable. You can be
Yeah,
responsible and happy. You know, it's a
it's just
choice.
mom's been, you know, kind of depressed and worried
Uh-huh.
and that kind of thing. And she doesn't mean to, but she gets all riled up and tries to bring me into it. And I don't go down the rabbit hole. And I think that makes her feel lonely because she's in the rabbit hole by herself.
Right. You can
So,
say, would you like to do something fun with me, Ma?
yeah.
You know, say, you know, I really would like us to have fun and hang out together. Put it as a together thing. Put it as,
Okay.
you know, I really appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate that I have you, and I'm grateful for you. And the more that you appreciate her, the more the easier it will be for her to come out. Rather than seeing a problem, see the blessings, and also change the energy in the house.
Okay.
But on stage, put some lively music that you can dance to, or that your son can jump to, or you know,
Yeah.
right, you know, and put people that are happy dancing over there. And you know, I do that. I do that myself over here. You know, suddenly I'm over there doing the Egyptian or doing something weird. You know, out of nowhere, I'm by myself. You know, sometimes the cat just looks at me like, "Oh my God." You know,
Well, thanks,
it's a
Anne.
matter of choice. It's choice. We all have those moments. We all go through them. Nobody stays perfectly, you know, with no alterations, and they're always at this. Don't believe that. Most teachers will tell you, you know, yeah, but the sooner that you get out of it and don't allow it to become a habit, the sooner that you're able to shift and shift and shift and choose again and choose again and choose again. You don't like what you're feeling, choose again. You don't feel good, choose again. Right. And I knew you were talking about your mom, and does she need prayer?
I think so. I think so.
Okay. Maybe I give her a call tomorrow if that's feasible. Would she accept a call at this time tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah. Her phone's working now, so she should be able to
Okay.
see your call and get it.
All right. I hope that helped you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. 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 So boundaries are extremely important as you start to detach. Hi, Cherry, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I just have to tell y'all something. My headache is not here anymore. I have been so miserable since 8 o'clock this morning. I've done neti pot. I've done everything. I just have to tell you that in the past 4 minutes, it's gone.
I'm doing a happy dance.
Oh, and I, you know, I'm not okay. As I progress, I will be able to get rid of this without any kind of medication and stuff. But I, at the moment, seem to need assistance. So the Quercetin I just took, and I found some expired Flonase, but it doesn't matter. Okay. And I think that's what did it.
Okay, hon. Okay, well, I'm very happy for you. I
I
really
just
am.
had to share that.
Okay. Yes, Virginia.
I would like to suggest that maybe the relief of that is from what we've been talking about.
Some of it is, but some of it is, I would say 80% is the pills. She took the medicine, and the other 20% is what we talked about. And the reason I'm saying that is because her headache was very strong, not to put enough attention to what we're saying. So normally I would have said, "Yay, I am such a great teacher that see what happened." But no, I do believe that, you know, that she's doing that. Okay, so let me go back to what I was saying about boundaries. Boundaries are extremely important as you start to detach and become more uh, of this higher dimensional aspect or version of you. So you will find yourself starting to stand up for yourself more in more ways that you have not before. Speaking up, these are things that you are going to start experiencing if you haven't already. The more we anchor into the 5D consciousness, anchoring meaning physically experiencing ourselves in this higher realm, the more you will not be able to stay silent. The more you will have to start to create changes in your life. That changes that you have known were coming for quite some time. Perhaps that intuitive knowingness, like I feel like this is happening. I feel like I should be doing this, or I feel like I need to be doing this. That was like a precursor to this now detached sort of a phase that a lot of us are in. We are like, oh,
Can you hear me this time on this one?
who's talking? Oh, Diane.
Diane's trying to. Yes. My computer's telling me that you guys are going in and out, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I think I finally fixed it to where at least now I can talk and you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
When I put on my webcam, it's off.
We can hear you. I mean, we cannot see you, but we can hear you, and that's okay with us.
It means that your reception is not as good.
I moved out of the house, so I'm far away from my
right.
connector.
That's why you lost the picture, but not the voice. So I'm glad you still have a voice.
Me too.
Okay. I was saying that you were not gonna remain silent as much as you were used to, or as much as you did before. I was talking about intuitive knowledge, knowing. There's a difference between knowledge and knowing. Intuitive knowledge, you might say, I feel guided to do something. Knowing says, I'm going to do this. You don't need the guidance. You do not need you already are. Okay, I somehow hit the mic. I don't think I did, but anyway, I was on mute. So, what did I just say? Because I got distracted.
The difference in knowing and knowledge.
Right, knowledge means that from what I know, from my experience, I feel that I should be able to do this, or that I should do this, or I'm being guided to do something. That means that you are in a position of not really knowing. When you don't really not know something, stay put. Do not move until you are clear. Once you're clear, then you ask yourself, your higher self, the Holy Spirit, God, your angels, whatever you want to call them. what is it? And normally I don't need to be told because I feel the urging to go do something. It is not something that I am unwilling to do. When I need to do something, I do it because it is an urging on my part. It's a prompting. It is something that is natural for me to do. I'm never asked to do something that is against me. You will never be asked to do something that is out of your, that goes against you. So you need to know that, especially on the fifth dimension, where most people are not guided. They are self-guided because they are in that love frequency. And in that case, love, if you want to call it that, love guides you. And some people say that God is love or love is God. So the awareness of the love that is expressing will prompt you to express something that you are very capable of doing and that you wouldn't mind doing. Please understand that you will never be asked for you to do something that you have reservations about, something that goes against your nature, or something that you don't really want to do. That will never happen. Okay.
Angie, I have a question.
Yeah.
I didn't get I didn't hear, I didn't understand what I was hearing when you said, if you're in a low frequency, you're not being guided, or if you are being guided, you are in a low frequency.
No. What I said was in the fifth frequency, fifth dimensional frequency, love will guide you.
Okay.
At that point, that you will not be guided by some by somebody else. That doesn't mean that you are not alone. That means that you are fully and completely with everyone and everything. So there is no singularity attempting to teach you something or trying to get you to do something, or and at the same time they cannot help you. Nobody can help you if you do not ask. uh, in the Bible it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. That's the only reason, because of lack of knowledge, because they don't know who they are. I'm just telling you that the knowledge is just now being released into the planet. It has been released in the last century, and more and more on this one. There will be a lot more advances in knowledge about, not so much about awareness, but how the brain works and how to get your brain to the frontal lobe works at about a 40% capacity. Most animals are at about 5% capacity. This is our what we call our mind, that is always recording, then that is always aware of the outward, the external, not outward, the external world. We all perceive the world differently, all of us do. And because we all perceive our worlds different, and why is that? It's because you cannot be observing the same thing, but it is according to our perception. And we can only perceive that which we are able to accept. So you cannot see, for example, some people can see auras. Some people say, well, I'm going to have to, if I concentrate and I look at you this way or that way, or I was looking at you and I saw your aura, but it's not 24/7 for most of the people that do see them. It's not something that continuously happen. Um, we see what we allow ourselves to see. What our perception dictates, our programming dictates what we see. Some people see, I see dead people, like the movie. Uh, People that do that, and uh, it's not that none of these things are for us. Everything is for us. We all have the same abilities, but our awareness of who we are is what dictates whether we're able to do these things or not. So the more that we become more aware of where we are and who we are and how you're coming into a dimension that is fully functional, that it is almost instantaneous in the way that the manifestation comes. It's almost like a boomerang. You throw it out and it's come back and it's almost ready to hit you. So you have to be more careful with your intentions or with your thoughts or with your um, fear or your negativity or because it's kind of boomerang and it's gonna come back at you. And it's not gonna come back at you just on the force that you sent it, but it will come back to you with the whole pendulum, and it's gonna hit you. So at this point, everybody's being asked to be more careful. Okay. So this is my beingness now. I am a being of these higher realms. I am close and connected to this version of me that is more light, more vibration, more frequency, and you cannot deny frequency and vibration. You cannot deny energy. It is impossible. So if you are finding yourselves now in this experience of feeling detached, floating, disoriented, just know that it is literally your physical body detaching from the matrix, exiting out all of these tentacles that connect you to the third dimensional matrix, and you are starting to find yourself floating in a higher realm, and you will find yourself needing to speak, needing to command, needing to hold firmer boundaries, needing to exit out of certain things, enter certain things. The way the third dimensional matrix works may not align with you as you continue to exit out of it. So give yourself more compassion. Ask yourself daily, every now moment, what is it that I want right now? If you ask, what is it that I need right now? You're coming out of lack. Fifth dimension is want. Okay? So instead of saying, what is it that I need? And if you do happen to say, well, I need this, find out if it's a want or a need. A lot of the things you say you want are things you need or things that are perceived as being needful. Because if somebody's saying, God delights you and gives you his kingdom, whatever I have is yours. Come to the prodigal son has arrived at the fifth dimension and is ready for the banquet. Are you ready for it? Can you accept the identity of who you are? Can you accept, not undervalue, not feelings of unworthiness, not feeling of, oh my God, I have such a long ways to go. You're right here. Fifth dimension is right here, fully available. Become more aware of it. How do you become more aware of it? You do not work at it. You go within. You do not have anything in particular. Concentrate on nothing. What does that mean? Not a thing, not a time, not a place. Put a, like when you close your eyes and you put that thing on top of your eyes, what do you call it? Like when you go to sleep and you don't want to see the light, night shades or night pads. What are they, Virginia? Anybody?
I think it's called a sleep mask.
Sleep mask.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's a sleep mask, and if you put it on, turn the lights off, see the darkness, and concentrate, like almost like if you're pinpointing the middle of the darkness. And if you have to look or do something, go in it like if it was vortex. And start going into the vortex. Do not create anything. Just allow yourself to be in that field where there's no thing, no one, no time, no space, nothing. That is one of the best things to tell you how you can quickly be part of the field in awareness. Concentrate on that exercise. Yes.
How do we do that physically? You said about experiencing ourselves physically in the fifth dimension. You were speaking right there to how mentally or how we spiritually connect with the fifth dimension. How about
Okay,
physically?
you're already connected on the fifth dimension. What I'm trying to do is help you be more aware of the fifth dimension of the field. Okay, we have a field of consciousness. That's what everything is created. That's what everything is, creation and non-creation between the two. And it lies this field of potentiality. In that field, I'm giving you the opportunity to go into that field where before time and space, with no form, with nothing, not even the drop in the water of the ocean. No, that still gives it form, that still gives it something. The ocean has so many things in it. This is just an awareness of a field that has no form. It is like a painter's canvas. And until you come in there in your awareness of your thought and your heart, and come together to manifest, you want to be in that field. When you want to become a millionaire or uh, healthy or wealthy or whatever the thing that you want to manifest, that's the field you want. But when you're in that field, and don't go into that field until you're grateful, until you're in that heart space, and then go in the field and then manifest. You got it? Okay. I need some water. I'm gonna have to stop this. I still have a few pages, and we'll only done one page. So I'll continue it next week. That's the detachment part of the physical ascension. You don't ascend in your mind, you don't ascend in your spirit or your soul. The only thing that is ascending is your body. And what you're doing to help your body is clear the blockages to love's presence, what the Course in Miracles calls the love, remove the obstacles to love's presence. And that is what this class is about. Any questions? I left the floor open for a couple of questions. Yes, Penny. I cannot hear a word.
Oh, I had to move because my battery dying, so I had to come in the bin.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can't hear me? Okay. Yeah, my battery was dying, so I had to come in then. I still, if you could put into like a brief summary of the difference between knowledge and knowing, and kind of like, well, if you would kind of summarize the difference between knowledge and knowing. I was kind of
Yes.
losing that.
I'm going to give you another example. The other one was a little bit more, I'm gonna put it more in black and white. Everything you learn in this world, studied, were taught, were conditioned, all of that is knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's one thing. Then you have another phase that goes from belief to faith to trust to knowing. Each one of those steps goes higher and higher. Belief, faith, trust, and knowing. Knowing is I already am all that is and all that will ever be. I am presented, even though I am in this form, I have access to the omnipotence and the omniscience and the, what is it? I'm missing one. Virginia, omnipotence,
Omnipresence.
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 Yeah, I have access to all of that. When I have access to all of that, I have knowing. I can come over here without notes and I can just open my mouth and start talking. Somebody asks a question, I have the answer. Why do I have the answer? Why is it so quick? Why don't I tell you, if you come back next Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I might have, after I research or do this, I will try to find out for you. When you're in the fifth dimension, everything is easily accessible. It might not be in the format that you want to hear it. Sometimes, and then you will ask me, can you explain it another way? The knowledge is there. You have this knowledge. Every one of us has the same things. It is the awareness of who we are that separates or seems to separate, seems to make some people look like they have more. We're all equipped with the same things. What we do with what we know is up to us and how far we want to go with it. Uh, somebody was talking to me about detachment this morning. I'm talking on my bed with whoever showed up in my bedroom, and I don't mean it in physically. I don't have people you show up in my bedroom. um, let me specify. Oh goodness. Um, so and they were asking me, what was it? They were asking me if I wanted to do something, if I wanted to surrender. That was the thing, because you hear the word surrender, and that it is the highest and the most beautiful and the most this and that and the other, and people misunderstand and thinking that surrendering is surrendering, that you no longer have a will and you no longer have a purpose and you no longer have, because everything is in the hands of spirit. Okay, I was given the awareness that that's not what it means. It means that I came to have this life and have it more abundantly, to express as a human being to the fullest capacity that I'm able to manifest as I understand it. It is my contribution to this world, my experience of what this world is. My mind can make a heaven of hell, or, Who was that? Milton that said that my mind can make heaven of hell or hell of heaven. You know, prison walls do not a prison make, because it is how we perceive, how we see. And instead of perception, we want to have the knowingness of who we are, the full awareness. And to answer your question, Penny, which you had to do with the differences is one is learned, is world knowledge, and the other one is knowing yourself. And it does require you to understand belief, faith, trust, and knowing. Okay, yes, Jenny.
For that knowing, there's a level of attaining something, though, isn't there?
There's a level of what?
Of attainment to know.
No, it's not an attainment. You already have it.
Okay, that's the wrong word then. Revelation, where suddenly something's been removed. It's like you removed a veil or something. There's a revelation that gets you that knowing.
Okay, I like the word revelation better than an aha moment. An aha moment is always incomplete.
I agree.
A revelation is truly the correct word.
Okay.
So yes, there is a veil lifted for you to, because you are actually willing to see. What is it? The veil that you lifted was your third eye open because you were willing to see. No longer headaches, no longer poor vision, no longer all kinds of different things. You know, but as you open this has to be open already. The throat chakra, because at this point, we're becoming more vocal. Well, I am this, and you're becoming to be more assertive. Okay, so revelation is the correct word. Thank you, Jenny. Hands on your chest, please. I want you to feel the warmth of your hands, and see if you can feel the beating of your heart. If you breathe slowly and allow yourself to feel life flowing through your hands, the heart pumping is magnetic, pushing the blood and the body, electrifying your brain with the neurons, and electrifying and firing and wiring your neurons, allowing a coherence of safety. Who you are, who you truly are, is called the secret place of the Most High. It is called in the arms of God. That place, your body resides in it. That which you're hearing is you speaking to you, speaking about unconditional love, surrendering to the abundance of life, surrendering to the gifts of spirit, surrendering to the light, the safety of the light, allowing peace to flow through your body, allowing love, allowing calm and relaxation. Release any tension. In the middle of your back, by your wings, relax. In your neck, relax. In the bridge of your nose, relax. The space between your two eyes. The space of your third eye. Relax the sides of your mouth and behind your ears. I want you to be conscious of your earlobes, both of them, and the tip of your nose. Relax, allowing peace and relaxation, which is who you are. Love, serenity, harmony. I am at peace. We are at peace. And out of this peace that I am, as I share it, as we share it together, sending peace, safety, and love to each one of us, to our families, to our friends, to anybody who needs healing, that has asked for healing, anybody who has not asked for healing because they didn't have anybody or because they didn't know how to reach, sending a healing worldwide, environmentally wise, sending a healing to everybody's body cells, to every living thing in this planet, every living thing, regardless of form, shape, or what it is. Allowing peace to the people. I want you to intend a blanket of peace covering the entire world. Nothing missing, nothing broken. That is the word shalom. Shalom. I speak shalom to the nations, to all the lands, to all the people. Shalom to the weather. Shalom. Another blanket of compassion for each other. Lifting the world's vibration as a collective, as part of that collective, as part of the human collective. I intend the ascension of the human race in peace and harmony. through love, not through lessons, in peace and harmony, in kindness and in compassion. I speak to your heart. Express freely. Allow the love to flow. Release yourself. That is what we came here to do, to shine the light. And so it is. Amen. Namaste. We still have a few minutes left.
I would just like to say we appreciate any donations that you can give to support this ministry and this class. And by going to our website or using PayPal. We really appreciate your support in that way. Thank you.
Okay. Coming up. Anything you want to share about your prayer class?
No, we're just
it's not a class. I mean, it's a what?
Well, it's a time for, I do a guided meditation, and we talk about how to pray and what prayer is, and then we pray with one another in the circle. So, and we've had some wonderful demonstrations. One member of the group has had 5 immediate manifestations in a row. And so much so that this person then decided this week that there were no requests for the self, but only for others having their prayers answered.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sherry, you were going to say something?
I forget. That was so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still being recorded?
Are we still